pigment dyes are useful to give a worn-down casual look. These dyes are less precise than reactive dyes, as color matching cannot be so precisely achieved. This is because the process involves 3 stages. The first stage is to treat the fabric with a cationic product. This in effect makes the fabric more readily accept pigment dye molecules that do not really penetrate the fibers as other dye types, but tend to sit on the surface of fabric. This quality is how the worn-down look is reached in the second stage. The second stage is applying the pigment dye. With the machine turning quickly, the pigment dye in liquid form, rather like paint, is introduced into the machine and is dispersed over the fabric. The machine turns quickly to ensure an even dispersal. During this part of the process, the mechanical action of the machine and the fabric rubbing on each other knocks off some of the dye. There is no separate worn-down process, as this dye cycle is usually sufficient to achieve the required look. As the dye only sits on the surface, removing some of it by mechanical action reveals the undyed fiber. This gives the worn look associated with pigment dyes. The third stage involves processing with the binder. This is designed to keep the pigment dye attached to the surface of the fabric. Of course, there are various rinse stages between the main process and the final stages, usually a softening path. You will see how the result is dependent on completing all stages and a fair amount of mechanical action. This is why it is not practical to do lab dips as you would do for reactive dyes. It is also why you need to process a number of garments together even when sampling to produce the desired effect. Pigment dye molecules are relatively large and easily filtered at water treatment plants. Therefore, it is considered to be eco-friendly. They are also processed at generally lower temperatures than reactive dyes, and the process time is also shorter. These factors further contribute to their eco-friendly status. Some types of cotton knits, often the lower quality ones, may peel to a certain extent with the mechanical action during pigment dye. This can usually be corrected with the enzyme treatment, which removes the piling and smooths the fabrics. Pigment dyes can keep a huge variety of shades, including bright color. They do have limitations when trying to reach very dark or deep shades. For example, a deep black is not possible here. Using pure black pigment will result in a dark grey. Also, unlike reactive dyes, pigment dyes cannot be styled. They may be modified by applying another shade on the top to lighten or change the appearance, but you cannot remove all colors and start again.